SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
At Community Bank, we're here for every part of your financial journey. From personal banking to growing your business or buying a home, our expert guidance makes it simple. We're more than a bank. We're your partner for life's biggest moments. Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any contact.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning on a Thursday. The sun is shining. Do not let that lull you into a false sense of security. It's going to rain later today. There's no way around it. You can actually say that same thing to yourself every morning for the next 4 or 5 mornings because we got a lot of rain moving through. Why? Because it's a holiday weekend. That's why. You know how this works. Well, this morning we have I believe this may be the final North Pike Thursday for this year. Nobody seems to want to schedule and come in during summer break for some reason. So I believe this is it. And we have with us now the one and only Coach Ron Kessler. How you doing this morning, sir?
Great, Dave. How are you, buddy?
Doing fantastic. And, you know, we talk about summer vacation and summer break. We were just joking right before we came on the air. Your summer break's about 30 minutes.
That's about true. When you're coaching, a lot of high school sports will go through the summer a good bit. And coaching not only basketball but now volleyball and cross country, it'll keep us very busy in our traditionally downtime during the summer. So if you want to stay competitive and you want to stay active and keep the kids active, because a lot of them will just go home and just sit and not do much, and it shows when they get back to us in August. So we've got to do something during the summer to keep them very active. So yes, 30 minutes is about what I got as far as a summer break.
I wasn't even joking because your first summer basketball practice is this afternoon.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Excited about that, and getting the girls back in the gym and getting ready for 8 or 9 playing days during the month of June, along with 6 or 7 practices, and it'll be fun to get the basketball team back together and get them going.
I'm sure you have some on the basketball team that are this way, but I feel like cross country, whether you bring them in for an organized practice or not, they're out running somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. Last year we actually required our girls to run cross country, not necessarily go to the meets, but every couple days when the cross country team was practicing, we joined them as part of our preparation in our preseason workouts. So
conditioning.
Yeah, that's a big time part of it. Conditioning, absolutely.
Well, especially in basketball, because you're running nonstop back and forth. You've got to be in top condition to play that game.
Yeah, the game will leave you behind if you're not. And so we've seen that before, and it's just getting in the weight room and getting conditioned running is a big part of how we prepare for the upcoming basketball season.
So you got basketball practice this afternoon. You've got cross country going on. So, of course, we're here to talk about volleyball.
Volleyball. Let's do it.
This is new on your plate, isn't it?
It is. It'll be the first year that I've coached volleyball. I've been a big fan through the years. It's a big-time up-and-coming sport here in Mississippi. Not a lot of schools in our area have it yet, but the interest is growing, and you're seeing it being started. This will be just the fourth year for volleyball at North Pike. So 3 years ago, it got started. They had to play the first 2 years kind of as a preliminary and kind of pay your time. And then this past year, they were eligible for playoffs and finished third in district and had a good little season, good run. And I'm excited about taking over the program. Coach Hodges, our North Pike soccer coach and cross country boys coach, will be my assistant with volleyball. So we'll be kind of coaching a lot of things, wearing a lot of hats. But yeah, we're really excited about volleyball at North Pike.
Well, it's a neat thing that's getting started, and it kind of puts you at the leading edge of the sport because, like you said, not everybody's doing this.
Yeah.
Why is that, do you think?
I just think it's a sport that just has started to really evolve more. You see it at the Olympic level, the college level, and it started to trickle down now to the high school level in Mississippi. You see it in other parts of the country, a very big sport for high schools, and for whatever reason, we've kind of been a little bit behind in that sense, but it's really picking up. There's lots of travel teams here in the Mississippi area as well with volleyball, and that has helped gauge the interests of students in high school and given athletic directors and administrators the idea of, hey, let's start a volleyball program. And so it's been really good for girls athletics in Mississippi.
Well, there's a lot of advantages to having a volleyball program. One of them is that volleyball, the further into your educational career you get, the bigger volleyball gets. We've got a great team here at Southwest.
Yeah.
Community colleges participate. 4-year universities, of course, it's a big deal. So this will also possibly open up some scholarship opportunities.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for the student athletes at North Pike to do just that, turn the heads of some college coaches and obviously give them an opportunity to pay for schooling at the next level. Right here, the relationship that I've started and look to continue with Southwest coaching staff is a fantastic tool for us to tap into that are going to actually come in the middle of July and do a camp, a home camp for us with their head coach, assistant coach, and a player or two are going to come over with our 30 girls and have a camp right here in July. So we're super excited about that, and that'll give those coaches a chance to see some of our players. We've got some really good players and a lot of potential for a couple of them to go that route, on the college level if they so desire and they work hard.
Well, and that's the thing. You had two. I don't want to call them practice years, but they kind of were. You weren't eligible for playoffs or anything the first 2 years of the program. Then you had last year. This will be the fourth year. Do you have any seniors this year?
We will have 5 seniors on the team, a good group of returning players that have some good experience over the last couple years, and have a really good sophomore and junior class as well. So, it's going to be a good group. I mentioned the number 30, Dave. We had 85 girls try out for volleyball. 85 girls. I mean, that's a great problem to have. The interest is there. And so it was a tough task for Coach Hodges and I, because you in volleyball, it's a little different than other sports. You play 6 at a time. And with a junior high team, a JV team, and a varsity team, we had to assemble a good number for each of those games. Traditionally, you'll play a junior high, a JV, and a varsity every night. And you don't want to have 50 or 60 kids out there and, most of them just sitting around and not participating. You want to try to, handpick those that can contribute and put them out there and train them and grow them. And that's what we did. Again, it was 85. It was like, controlling the chaos, herding cats and cattle that afternoon, those 2 days that we had tryouts back in March. And we had a tough task, but we really were looking for athletes, really good athletes that would respond to some hard coaching, hard training, discipline, will work hard. And if we found and we feel like we have really good athletes, we felt like we could compete in the district that we are in. The state champion, the 5A state champion, came from our district, Sumrall, and they are loaded. They did graduate a few seniors, so we hope that maybe we can catch them this year, maybe on a little bit of a rebuild. But they're a well-oiled machine, to say the least.
Now, the balancing act you have to do there, for me, from the outside looking in, you don't want to give everybody a slot on the team, but you don't want to shortchange yourself in case you need more down the road, and you're building for follow-up years, getting some. What's the sweet spot there?
Well, we didn't have a number going in. We did not say we were going to have this amount. When we went through the tryouts, we were able to look at the 6th and 7th graders, which would be next year's junior high team, and there were, I think, 35 that tried out. We kept 11 girls. 6 will play, and that gives you 5 subs. Injury, academic issues, anything, fatigue, in a game, give you plenty of subs there. And then we ended up keeping 20 girls to compile our JV and varsity team. Our seniors will not play JV. That's just a rule that I have. They will not play JV. They'll be strictly varsity. And a couple of the underclassmen will, play some good varsity minutes as well. So again, we were looking for the best athletes. We didn't have a number set. We just wanted to see the most athletic who would contribute at both the JV varsity level. And we felt like the 20 girls that we were able to pick for the team are going to do just that for us.
You've mentioned it several times. It really doesn't matter what sport it is. You mentioned that volleyball is a little bit different in some ways, and it is. But you have a varied selection of things that you're coaching now: basketball, cross country, volleyball. But back to what we were saying earlier, the biggest thing for any sport is conditioning, being in shape, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say, cross country and basketball, the conditioning is a little bit more intense. The volleyball, it's still intense. There's a little bit more maybe downtime or standing around, but it's quick reflexes, reaction time is huge in volleyball. So the conditioning's a little different for that sport versus the basketball and cross country that I coach. But we're still we're excited about the athletes that we have. We're going to condition them, and hopefully we can outthink, outsmart, and outwork our opponent every time we take the court.
We're just going full Survivor with this. I like
Absolutely.
That. This is very good. Now, do the volleyball girls, do they hit their weight room?
Yes, we'll have some conditioning workouts where we'll incorporate, whether we actually physically go to the weight room or not, we have some things where we at our disposal in the gym that we can do, heavy ball training, dumbbells, things along those lines that we can use there in the gym during practice and get them conditioned. Well, that's a big part of all sports.
We talk about your 30-minute summer break. I've got the schedule here. The first action for the North Pike girls volleyball team is July 25th.
Absolutely. School starts August 3rd.
Yeah. So you're beating class coming in.
Yeah. MHSAA allows the volleyball teams to start July 20th. That is the first official day you can practice with your team. And we have a jamboree at Brookhaven High 5 days later. So we'll have a practice from 9 to 12 on the 20th, just us, and then the staff here from Southwest will come over for 3 straight days and run a home camp for us on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And then we'll have another practice on the 24th to get us ready for the jamboree on Saturday at Brookhaven. We'll play 2 or 3 matches there against various schools. And then we have the weekend, probably do like an open gym on Sunday because we have our first real game, regular season game against Bogachita on that Monday, and school starts. So it's just like a whirlwind of things happens. It just comes very fast. You'll have 2 weeks of practice, and then you get after it.
Why does the MHSAA hate coaches?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one.
I'm just thinking, now you can't start practice until this day. Now, 5 days later, you're playing. It should be a good 5 days of practice.
Yeah. I did misspeak. After that jamboree, we do have that following week, the end of August. I did misspeak. End of July, excuse me, to give us a 5 extra days to get ready for that opener on the 3rd. So, yes.
You're living fancy. You can relax.
We got 10 days, Dave. There you go. How about that?
10 days. That's fantastic. You're opening up, I notice, at home, too, with your first 2 games.
Yeah, we have Bogachita at home, and then Lloyd Star at home before we turn around on that Saturday and go to the Bogachita tournament, where we'll see a variety of teams in that tournament. Looking at that schedule, Salem was probably one of the toughest teams that North Pike played the last couple years. We get to go to their tournament, but also play them in a home-and-home, so we'll get to see a good bit of Salem. They had 11 seniors on the team last year, and so we're maybe hoping that they may be in a little bit of a down year or rebuild as well. But we love the opportunity to play tough competition, and you go down with that schedule there with Wesson and Franklin County before August 24th when district play actually starts with Natchez, and that'll be our opener with Natchez, and then the big one there that we've all circled, September 8th is Sumrall, and we get to play them at home first. So that is exciting to have the defending state champs come here to Summit and give them our best shot on that second district game. So we're excited about that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
The defending state champs in 5A girls volleyball coming to North Pike. What's the celebration going to be when you whoop them? Is it going to be an ice cream night? How are you going to handle that?
No. We're going to have worked so hard, and we're going to have prepared. We're going to act like we've been there. We're not going to have that celebration and let our egos get the best of us. We're going to stay humble. We're going to work hard. We're going to be disciplined, and we're going to, like I said, act like we've been there before and continue that. As you beat them, you got to go there in a couple weeks after that, and they'll be tough at home. They're just a great program, and that we're up for the challenge.
It has a lot in common. A phrase that some people who have never played athletics will get because they've heard it before. You've been told and you've heard before, dress for the job you want. Attitude-wise, that's what you're talking about. Act like the state champions before the season even starts, and you got a much better chance.
Absolutely. It's mental. I mean, your preparation, yes, is physical for athletics, but half the battle is mental. And in all 3 of these sports that I coach, on the basketball court, running and cross country, it's a big-time mental aspect is very important, and the same will apply for volleyball.
Well, especially with cross country, I would think, because it's basically you running through the woods.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
And half the time you can't see the people you're racing with because you're not just all in one big giant clump.
Right.
So you're competing with yourself.
Yep,
so
you are.
It makes sense.
Yep. Yourself and the clock. Absolutely. Yep.
Man, how do you reconcile 3 such completely different sports that you're coaching?
This will be the first time doing it, so we shall see. I have coached multiple sports in my 24 years of coaching, but this will be the first time this combination. I was a baseball coach for years prior to coming to North Pike, and I enjoyed that spring sport. But this will be a different. Volleyball and cross country are during the same season. Cross-country meets are on Saturday, and we, I think, have Coach Hodge and I were looking at, I think we're going to have 5 meets before you go to regionals and then before you go to South State and State. So they end up running, if they qualify for the end, they end up running in about 8 meets during the month of August and September. And volleyball will be going on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays during those same months. Now, it's nice at North Pike because the volleyball practice will be during the school day. That'll be during 3rd block, and so we'll be able to have those players there during the school day, and then cross country will be after school. And the cross country practice, they're not long practices. We're not trying, every time we go and run, we're going to be, running like a 5K, 3.1 miles. So we're going to practice 1, 2, 3 miles and build up to that distance that we're going to need to achieve. And those practices can be 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour at the most. A little different in basketball and volleyball. So, my day will be, basically teaching PE in the morning, volleyball third block, basketball fourth block, and then cross country after school. So,
good grief.
Yeah.
I want to take a nap for you on your behalf, Ron. Good grief. Well, it's going to be a good year, which sounds really weird to be saying here on the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
We're already talking about this fall because when you're coaching, fall is basically here already.
You're right. Yeah, we've started. This is kind of our we call it not the off season but the work season. And you work hard during these summer months, and like you said, with volleyball and cross country starting basically as school starts or slightly before that, you're getting those kids together. Earlier than some of these other sports may be doing so, and getting the best out of them and getting them prepared both physically and mentally. Because once it gets here, like you said, it's here. And this is the beginning right now. We're ending the 26 school year, but the 26-27 school year is literally starting. So
I know you have limited time before your first basketball practice this afternoon. I feel like I need to stress that again.
Yeah.
But take a break. Take a little nap.
Yeah, I'm going to try at some point. Make some time for family. That's very important. Yep, definitely. So,
well, let me just say, for all of the things that you're coaching in no particular order, good luck, and good luck.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. We're excited. We appreciate you and all the good work that you do promoting North Pike athletics. This has been a fun school year for North Pike Athletic Department, and we're looking forward to what 26-27 brings, and we're looking forward to Thursdays next year.
Bigger and better, onwards and upwards, baby.
Absolutely.
That's all you can do. Ron Kessler, the coach of everything at North Pike. Oh, they'll find a fourth one for you.
I hope not.
Don't push your luck. They'll find somewhere else. Is there a Tiddlywinks team?
Nope.
Okay.
If they create one, somebody else will be coaching it, Dave.
That depends on who gets called to the office for a conversation now, doesn't it?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. North Pike Thursday. It's been another fantastic year. I feel like we just need to keep it going through the summer. You're all going to be there anyway. Why not? They don't get the break you think they get, kids. They really don't. We continue on this Thursday morning right after this. Keep it here.
It laughs and says I find ways. Just when we're sheltered under paper, the rockets come at us sideways. Something will never change. They stand there looking backwards, half unconscious from the pain. They may seem rearranged in the backwater swirling. There's something that'll never change. And hey, I'm fine. Good, fine. Throw from time on who's done.
Southwest Supply Company is your local source for supplying your office, restaurant, concession stand, or household, cleaning and janitorial supplies, food service items, and more. We're proud to be able to deliver all of your office supplies, office furniture, and business machines. Call 601-684-5521 or visit us at 1036 Gordon Covington Road in Summit. Southwest Supply Company, delivering weekly to Macomb, Brookhaven, and surrounding areas.
Every now and then we remind all of you loving, awesome, hard-working husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast.
weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Thursday morning, Dave Hughes here. Our old buddy friend of the show, Mose, sent in a question asking if I was going to talk about Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. Well, you might think, especially after yesterday, and it's a big week, we just had the primary this week, that resulted in us having Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins, but you might expect that I would do a whole big piece here on Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins, but I'm not going to mention Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins quite yet. But thanks for your question about Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. we do have some somewhat sad news that we have to talk about here. Last night, about 6, 7 o'clock last night, the Macomb Main Street Association put out an official statement, and it starts with the bolded line, the Macomb Main Street Association would like to share that the Iron Horse Festival will not be held in 2026. Now, they've been reviving it recently and getting it back going. I'm just going to read you their statement, okay? And then we'll talk. Then we'll discuss. The statement goes on. This was not an easy decision, and we understand that this news may be disappointing to many in our community and throughout the region who have loved and supported this event over the years. The Iron Horse Festival began as a celebration of music, heritage, and the unique railroad history that helped shape Macomb into the city we know today. Over the years, it grew into an event of tremendous significance and remarkable success, welcoming unforgettable performances and memorable moments from the legendary Ray Charles in 1994 to Bo Diddley in 1995, to recent appearances such as Kiki Wyatt and American Idol winner Jamal Roberts in 2025. The festival has left a lasting mark on our community and remains an important part of Macomb's story. At the same time, here's the payoff in this, if you will. At the same time, events of this scale require substantial financial investment, sponsorship support, infrastructure, and operational capacity. In today's climate, where discretionary resources are increasingly limited, the cost of producing a festival of this size has become more difficult to sustain responsibly. Following careful consideration and with a commitment to protecting the long-term health and stability of our organization, the Macomb Main Street Association believes that pausing the Iron Horse Festival this year is the most appropriate path forward. Please know this decision does not reflect a lack of appreciation for the festival's legacy or for what it has meant to our city. On the contrary, we recognize how important it is to continue celebrating the story of Macomb, especially our railroad heritage and our deep musical roots. This is why we are especially excited that the Macomb City Railroad Depot Museum is once again open, restored, and renewed, offering our community and visitors a meaningful way to experience and honor the history that inspired the Iron Horse Festival in the first place. And they go on to talk about the Live at 5 event series. Had a good turnout for those. A couple hundred people is not bad. But this is a sign of the times, not necessarily a sign of the Iron Horse Festival. Now, there will be people immediately rushing forward to say, oh, it's because we're swapping mayors. No. Oh, it's because of crime. No. It's because bread costs $8 a loaf now. Not literally, but you know what I mean. Everything has gone up in price. When they mention discretionary spending, that doesn't just apply to the individuals showing up to enjoy the Iron Horse Festival. That also applies to sponsors and donors and everyone else. If you're making the same amount of money, but you're having to spend more to do what you were already doing, you don't get to continue doing all of it usually. That's my take on this. This is an economy equation that has been worked by the Macomb Main Street Association. And, they talk, I was flashing back, they talk about the start of the Iron Horse Festival. I remember when it started to begin with. I was there. That was I think it was either the first or the second one that Paul Lott drugged me up on stage and made me howl like Old Blue. Yeah, I know. But it was a good time. Everybody had a good time. And we had thousands upon thousands of people in downtown Macomb for that back in the mid-90s. Again, I was there. I'm well aware. It kind of dwindled for a while, and a lot of that was financial. And then don't forget, this is not the first time it's been paused. We went for several years where the Iron Horse Festival didn't happen. The Iron Horse Festival is a great event. It's got some meaning, especially for folks like me. My dad, his first job in the railroad shops, back when the shops were still open. Why? Because his dad worked in the railroad shops and got him a job. My other grandfather was a conductor on the Illinois Central Gulf Railroad. You ask around, and there's story after story after story of everyone in this area who had somebody that worked for the railroad. There is a tie in the family, usually pretty close to the person you're talking to the railroad. So the Iron Horse Festival carried a lot of meaning beyond just, let's go get some chicken on a stick and listen to some music. It was also celebrating something that basically built Macomb. In a way, it very much built Macomb. Macomb would not have been what it was, probably wouldn't have been here, to be honest, if it wasn't for the railroad coming right through here. That's how Macomb got started. So it is a great celebration of why we're here in Pike County. I mean, there is no coincidence that Summit, Macomb, Magnolia, and Osika, downtown sits on the railroad tracks of all four of them. That's not a coincidence. Not at all. That's how important the railroad has been. Most people don't think about it these days unless they catch a train trying to get across, and then they sit there and grumble. That's fair. But that railroad is the reason the communities in Pike County built up where they built up. All of them. So it's worth celebrating. It's worth reminding people. However, it takes money. Get right down to it, it takes money. And the one thing we don't seem to have a giant surplus of in any part of life, any level, at the corporate level, at the mom and pop business level, at your level when you're out of Snickers and need to go get some, the extra money is not floating around. That is the reason this is happening. And again, you're going to hear it. Somebody will be along momentarily to explain that, this is all political. Oh yeah, right. We're changing mayors and we're not having the Iron Horse Festival. It's all political. No, it's not. It's not. There's something much bigger and deeper going on here. Mo said he hadn't heard the name Paul Lott in a long time. Yeah, Paul was a character. Paul, and I told him this one time. After the Kardashians got started, I said, you technically, you were the first Kardashian. You're famous because you're so well known. He was a great guy, had a good heart. Knew him for years and years. That's why when he saw me in the crowd that year and he was looking for somebody to come up and howl the part of Old Blue in that song, his eyes lit up and he's like, oh yeah, I'll show you, Kardashian. Come here, little boy. And then we were off to the races. But look at it like this. You've been hearing the stories about Blue Dot Fever. If you haven't heard that, when you go to Ticketmaster or whatever to buy tickets for a concert, every seat that hasn't been sold yet is represented on the seating chart with a blue dot. We have had a lot of concerts recently that have been canceled by the artists. Tours, entire tours have been canceled because the tickets weren't selling. Are people suddenly no longer interested in going to a live concert? No, that's not the case at all. They're broke. They can't afford $200 a head to go. And then if you go to the concession stand and everything else, if you live in town where the concert's happening, that could be $500 that you're spending. Depending on the artist, obviously. So you have seen this impact. We saw what happened with Post Malone. Oh, I got to focus on working on new music. Yeah, okay, yeah. The fact that ticket sales were kind of, yeah, it's got nothing to do with it, I'm sure. So this is going on across the board, especially when it comes to entertainment, because the first thing to feel the impact of economic problems is the entertainment industry. I mean, you got to eat, you got to pay the light bill, got to pay the house note, got to pay your insurance. By the time you get through paying for everything you have to pay for, if you don't have any money left, well, you ain't going anywhere, whether you want to or not. They are finding that out in the music industry right now. It's the same kind of effect that's going on here. Same exact thing. So let's not conflate this into more than it actually is. It's bad enough already, but let's not make it worse. The timing-wise, is going to make everybody... I've seen one or two comments already. Had someone actually ask me last night, texted me and asked me about this. I'm like, no, that's not it. People are broke. They are selective about how they spend their money, and that's not just people going to the festival. Again, that's sponsors, that's everything. So, it will be back. As I said, it's been paused before, and it came back. It will come back once again. I do want to, and I don't know if there was any conversation had about it. But I will say this, and this is a trap we have fallen into for years in Southwest Mississippi. We have to get some new blood in, artist-wise. We've got some fantastically talented musicians here. But have you noticed the lineup looks suspiciously familiar every year? Looks very similar to what was last year or the year before or the year before. Might swap out one person, two. We need to get some fresh blood involved in the situation. I'm not saying short any of the bands or the solo acts or the duos that go around and perform now. They're all incredible. They're all awesome. Still have them a slot, but we got to find a way to work some new blood in. Because I don't care how good you are. People like variety. They get excited over variety. So you got to throw them a bone with something new, something fresh every so often. I've heard them. They're a great band. When's the last festival we had anywhere that we didn't have Dr. Czar? It's just, we settle on one thing and then we just roll with it. That's how the Iron Horse Festival started it off so huge. You heard the list that I was giving you there that they had in their statement that they issued. Ray Charles in 94, Bo Diddley in 95. You know, big names, big to-dos, big deals. But financially, that was a different time. Just call it what it is. But let's spruce things up a little bit. Let's get some fresh blood in here. I've been saying this forever. I don't even know if they're still together. I saw them 7-8 years ago down at the French Food Festival on the Bayou in LaRose, Louisiana. There's a band called Contraflow down there. We were leaving. We got halfway to the car, and they started doing a Journey song, and I stopped. Just cold in my tracks, and eventually drifted to the car, because it was time to go, and just sat there on the hood and listened to them, because I thought it was actually Journey for a minute. I mean, they were just that good. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of great bands out there. We need, again, this is just my opinion. You know what that's worth. We need to get some new options. We need to experiment and find some things to get people fired up and excited about going to events. Because in this economic climate, if they're not excited, they're not going to try to find a way to be involved. It needs to be one of two things. Either, I cannot believe this. Did you hear this? We got to be there. Or, wait a minute. This is what oh, okay. That's interesting. I wonder what we need to go check this out. Go for one of those two. Just my thought. I got a lot of friends that play music here in Southwest Mississippi. And as I said, incredibly talented, do a fantastic job, and keep booking every one of them. But got to be a way to work in some new blood as well, without hurting a single booking for our local artists, because they should come first. But after that, I mean, Dr. Czar is not from here. Great band. They do a fantastic job. They put on a fantastic show. But we can spread our wings a little bit, I think. And I think that will make a difference in the interest and the attendance and the money spent and the sponsorships. Because if you look at the concerts, going back to Blue Dot Fever, if you look at the concerts that are being canceled and the tours that are being canceled, nobody was excited to go see them. Not enough to buy a ticket. And I say that because you had plenty of other concerts that were announced that are ongoing, that are about to launch, and they're doing fine. They're selling tickets. It's not everybody. It's not across the industry. It's not every single concert tour is suddenly not selling tickets. No. The ones that have passionate fans that are into it, oh yeah, they're buying tickets. They're showing up. So it's not everybody. You got to boil it down. You got to figure out, you got to put your finger on the difference between those two groups in professional musicians that are touring. Some of them are having to cancel their tours because tickets aren't selling. There's a group called Static X. I don't know if you've heard about them or heard of them. They've older group. They were launching an American tour. They haven't even come to do the first show yet. They were supposed to start next week. They have canceled the tour completely and specifically said the reason was ticket sales were disappointing. Yes, it's because you don't have a passionate fan base. People may love you. They don't love you more than, dinner money. We have to infuse things with that passion and that variety and that excitement to be involved. Because the same old, this is not the climate where that's going to work, I'm afraid. I am just full of happy news today, aren't I? But I just wanted to get that out. There will be no Iron Horse Festival this year in downtown Macomb. We have been here before. This is not a politics decision. This is a nobody got no money decision. So let's start looking at things from that angle and see what we can come up with. Because if you put your finger on it, if you find the right thing and you do find the right way to do it, you will get people excited and you won't be able to answer the phone quick enough. Just my 2 cents from the cheap seats. Again, we all know what that's worth, but I was there for the first several years of the Iron Horse Festival, broadcasting, participating, when we literally had thousands we had a crowd in downtown Macomb, standing room only. And I'm talking thousands of people. It was an enormous deal. It can be done in Macomb. It has been done in Macomb. And I don't think this is a bad decision to pause it this year. I really don't, because the economic situation, makes perfect sense. It's a good move, because you'd much rather just pause it than put on a dud. That would damage the brand, if you will. But let's take this year and figure out if there's a different way to do things. In some way. Freshen it up. Make it a big deal. No, I'm not going to go howl like Old Blue on the stage for you. Now, I've done my time. I'm not doing that again. Okay, fine. There you go. That's all you're getting. Final break. Close it down for a Thursday right after this on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Keep it here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalk PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have to pray. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
I'm gonna leave you with this one real quick.
Closing
This is a
time.
Louisiana story all the way to the bottom, and you will see what I'm talking about. They sentenced a guy this week to 40 months in prison, 3 years supervised release, and most punishingly, a $100 mandatory assessment fee. Because a couple of years back, 2023, he was flying out of Louis Armstrong Airport down in New Orleans. Checked his bag. They went through. They scanned it. They said, wait, something looks weird here. So they searched his luggage and found, well, a lot of meth. 442 grams of meth. 375 of those were pure meth. Was in a Ziploc bag that was buried inside a container of Zatarain's seasoning powder. So if you're in Louisiana and you're trying to smuggle drugs, well, Zatarain's is going to come into it at some point, right? According to this guy, yes. So I didn't know if you'd heard about that. This is a good try, but at the same time, come on. At least we're upfront about our stupid things in Mississippi. Zatarain's. Now, when he gets out, will he get an endorsement deal? I'd just like to tell you about Zatarain's. It's as addictive as, well, you know. Come on, they got to be able to break off a couple of bucks for that ad just to make me happy. So remember today, Zatarain's does not mask the presence of meth. Being stupid does not get a free pass. And, well, I think I have to end the show by saying, one more time, Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins. Sorry we didn't get time to talk about Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins today, but we'll try to work Mayor-elect Bruce Mullins in next time. You have a wonderful day. Chasing Foul Balls tomorrow at 9:06. Be back next week, my friend. I'll see you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.